Oh, ha! Ha! Right. Where's my sip sip? Some good tea. Oh. Right. Let's get the tea flowing. Here we go. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Oh, my spina definitely knows it's time of today. Oh, stretching goo. Oh. Painting goo. It's painting goo. What will we goo? Nobody knew what we goo. Painting goo. It's painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Oh, stretching goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo. It's painting goo. Oh, my spina. Oh. Painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Everybody give it up for our resident petrified primate, Myro the monkey! Painting goo? Goo, goo, goo. Painting goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo goo goo. It's painting feckin' goo. It's painting goo. Painting goo. What will we goo? Nobody knew what we goo on painting goo 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 goo. Goo, 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 goo. So many goos. So much goo. All for you. That sounded kind of sexual. Keep your goo to yourself. Painting goo. Painting goo. It's painting goo. Oh, that's some good tea. Right. If any of you 30 mortals have any honor, you will pay the monkey for his services. Greetings and welcome to another glorious... Stop squeaking, Mike. I am rethinking giving you eyes. You may just remain inert and an object. Don't piss me off, Mike. Today is Friday. Thank fuck. I am exhausted. My back has been extra stiff of late. Ah, speaking of things that may or may not be stiff. Ooh, giggity. Pardon me, whilst I descend into proper PEINTEINGU posture. Ah, the stool was smooth today! Excellent! I revere my magic and glorious fluffy topnatu that will fend off any Oni attempting to interrupt the PEINTEINGU stream. It's a Friday. We want some good, consistent, high-energy PEINTEINGU. Oh, that's some good fucking tea. Right! Who has honor this day? Emmanuel Godsonu, first two. Excellent. Stabaru-sama, acknowledging Emmanuel's first two. Always remember to Raika, share, and subscriber. Oya have no anna. Indeed. Indeed. Garros. Eventually, I'm currently occupied by giving eyes to Mike. Mentally speaking. But I haven't forgotten about you, Garros. Sitting in that corner there. Constantly staring at the side of my head. Look at him. Look at him. He's always just mid-runge. Just mid-air tiger. Reminding you to like and subscribe to PEINTEINGU, or I shall remove his bucket and sunglasses and fling him at you violently. Doesn't matter how many times I have to remind you filthy mortals that I have a tiger on standby with X-ray vision, no less. In case you were wondering what the bucket and sunglasses is for, that's what it's for. He has cocaine-induced X-ray vision. He was fed so much cocaine by a Colombian drug lord called Don Branco before I saved him from said jungle and drug lord. So much cocaine he developed X-ray vision. That is Garros' backstory. It's possibly one of the funniest fucking things about PEINTEINGU is that I have a pet tiger who wears a aluminium bucket on his head and sunglasses on the bucket to prevent him from just seeing everything all the time. Imagine the horror. Just constant X-ray vision. There's bound to be some benefit. I'm sure if we ponder upon it, we could risk many things that would be beneficial about being like some kind of Terminator, just constantly seeing through everything, literally seeing through all the lies. Desmondu-sama, Grifo-sama, Fort Reich, mein favorite honor. Grifo-sama making sure he is fourth every time. He will take third, but fourth all the time. White power. Grifo-sama, make me laugh all the time, because almost all of his voice messages end with white power. It'd make me laugh so much. I love it. I love it! The monkey looks like he's been servicing himself. Myro, have you been servicing yourself? Ah, I see. The anger of the camera. I see what you mean, Dick Fodu. Myro does look like he is playing the piano one-handed whilst servicing himself. Excellent. Now that you have made me aware of this, I'm never going to change it. Stir? Question mark. You were right. You were no Reiki the fringing. Fringy? Garros will make you cry. And we shall laugh. That'd be like one of the most gangster things ever. If we were all dressed like me, headband, hair up, fucking Komodo, and I like unleashed a tiger on someone, and we were all just standing there sipping sake, laughing, while some dude gets like horrifically torn apart and eaten alive. Like, we're all just like, ha 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 ha, Siri foreigner, ha ha ha. Like, oh man, if it was in black and white, it'd be even better. Oh god, the skits I would shoot, man. If I had a fucking studio and a bunch of lads around, like, it'd be fucking. I'm so jealous of Owen in that regard. That he's going down to shoot skits with Bowler and all now. Like, oh man, it'd be so much fun. Be like, for me, it'd be like being in drama class again. Like, you know, props and fucking having to like frame shit and all. Like, so the audience or the witness, the camera, or whatever, can like see certain things but not see other things until you want them to see them and shit. Like, oh, so much fun. Let's go, indeed. We have much to go this fine Friday. Well, possibly. I mean, there's already a rot of goo here, you know. Beautiful, white, fluffy crowds. Roaring hills in the distance, patched with the thickest of grass and finest bushes. Bristers, netters. Beautiful architecture. I could probably put some brickwork in there, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that would be much too much. Too much, and much too much. When was the last time I watched Ace Ventura? I have to put that in the list. I finally, I think, finished Attack on Titan. I think. I'm not sure. Where was I? Yes! Giant Anaconda. Toxic chemicals. Beautiful, picturesque village in, where are we? Andorra! And of course, Thomas the Tank Engine. But, you know, armed and ready to go. I think for me, the best thing about this painting is like the snake's face and Thomas's face. I think like they are two titans rocked in fierce battle. Like, so I will have to do bullets, rockets, cannon fire, lots of muzzle flashes. Perhaps some more detail on the snake. Fix his teeth, his fangs. I don't know whether to give him the pupil on the eye or leave it looking kind of anime Pokemon style. Now I'm just staring at the painting, pondering. I'm pondering at the painting. Did Janos take his final form? Or whatever the main character's name was. Janos? There must be some other shit yet left then. Final form. The last thing I saw was Mikasa burying Eren. So there is actually more. It's like, I thought that was crazy. There's 4 seasons. And in the last season there's like nearly 40 episodes. Now each episode's only like 23 minutes long or some shit on average. So like I was like burning through them, but there is a lot of it like. And then you get to like episode 80 or something and it's like an hour and 23 minutes, an hour and a half, and like the amount of shit that goes down, and like there's just so much like, we're gonna do this, and then something happens, and then they're like, oh fuck, now we have to do this, like, you know. And then there's like a whole episode of like, now we're in the dream world where these two have a conversation like outside of time and space, like, you know, and it's like, it's cool, and like, you know, I'm enjoying it. And it's a great time and all, and like I'm looking at the artwork and shit at the same time, and the style and stuff, and all, like, and I'm loving every minute of it. But like, it's like exhausting. It's actually like one of the few shows that I've binged where like afterwards I'm like, Jesus Christ, there's how much more of there is this like, I was about to say shit, but it's not shit, it's amazing, it's really good. Like, so obviously there is more. Fucking hell, Jesus Christ. It is really good though. I've thoroughly enjoyed all of it. Like, watch now. I'll probably like, what's the money though? I think the ending's shit. It'll finally end, and I'll be like, trash. Like, right. A sharp, clean cleansing of the chi. And then we shall begin today's PEINTEINGU. Margie-osama! How are you, Margie? Are you aware? How are you? Right. Where's my tunes? Where's my tunes? Tunes? Friday. I'm fearing matter. I'm fearing matter. Oh! Sumimasen. 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 That was a deep gepu. Right. That's what I want. Okay. Right! A ding of the tiny dong to cleanse your filthy mortal chi. It actually does make me feel better. That's kind of hilarious. Buy yourself one of these things on Amazon. Give it a ding once in a while. I just imagine, like, say, instead of being like, somebody's like having a breakdown or some shit, be like, did you take your meds today? Instead, it's like, I come on stream and like I'm like in a weird mood, and somebody just puts it in the chat. It's like, did you ding the dong today? You probably need the ding the dong. You need your chi clearly needs to be cleansed. I'm gonna fucking train myself like Pavlov's dog. But like, would that necessarily be a bad thing if you like brainwashed and hypnotized yourself into being like positive and uplifting? like every time I like ding, and I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, all of a sudden I have like way more energy and a completely different outlook on life. Why don't we look into that? Why don't we look into the possibility of using technology to perform mass hypnosis? Like, forget like subliminal messaging and propaganda and brainwashing. Why don't you just like straight up like reprogram everybody with a fucking vibration of sound or some shit like that like hypnotizes them, or like some shit, you know? Just like ding. Everybody in Africa all of a sudden is just like, I want to be a surgeon. If only it was that easy. Like, shit, the shit going on in South Africa is just like crazy. Emmanuel Godsunu. How can you be first to and then show up late? I bet Defender thinks Potato Girl is best to guru in show because potatoes. Which was that? Sasha? Is that Sasha? The one who's always eating food and she's like obsessed with food. It's genuinely sad when she gets shot. Where like when Gabby shoots her on the airship and all, you're like, oh no way. There's loads of stuff like that happens in Attack on Titan where you're like that's why it's a good show. Like a good story makes you care about at least some of the characters, so you keep coming back to find out or whatever. Like, you know, or the general narrative. Like, you want to find out what happens to everyone or whatever. Like, and it is one of those shows where like I'd sit down and watch like 4 or 5 episodes in a row. Like I'd slap one on when we sit down to eat dinner. I'd put one on. And then it's like 4 episodes later, and I'm looking at my watch, and it's like, I don't have a watch. I'm looking at the fucking clock on the thing, or my phone, or whatever. And I used to have a watch. Remember years ago when people had watches? Like, I instinctively did that. Like, I looked at my wrist, like, tell me you were born in the 90s. Like, tell me you were born, like, when watches were still a thing and DVDs. Like, I'm 33, and in my lifespan, I've seen whole technological, like, genres just disappear. Like, oh, fucking hell, like, we're all just standing around looking at demons and clowns being like, will you please just slow down? Oh. Oh. And that was very racist of you, Desmondo. How dare you just assume that I think Potato Girl is the best. I mean, surely it'd be one of the alcoholic members of the team. The one that's always drinking wine or something would be like, that nigga gets it. There's a few redheaded characters in that. Okay. Is everything ready to go? I will probably need to reroad the parrot. Which one's dried? I left some goo wet on the parrot and covered it. But obviously I did not cover it well enough. The yarrow is pretty much unusable. But the rest of them look like there's still plenty of goo going on in there. Despite an outer share of ger. The goo becomes ger. Quite quickly. This immersion shit dries up really quickly. I love it, and I hate it sometimes. But that is life. I apologize for nothing. Nor should you. If you did, I would think you weak. My brother bought me a really nice watch, but I never wear it. I did the exact same thing. My grandmother, who I adored, years ago, when I was like maybe a teenager. Yeah, I was a teenager. Like just before my 20s or something. She bought me this like quite an expensive watch, but it was hideous and it was huge. It was this huge black and orange technical marvel of watchery. Like, you could dive to 200 meters. You could use it as a compass. You could say, does it tell the time? like they were doing shit like that with watches before they started doing shit like that with phones. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, here's a watch that you can also swim with, so you can tell time underwater. It's like, how many people do you know that are like scuba instructors or deep sea welders or fucking really competitive fucking sand collectors? Like, do you know, like, this is so fucking stupid. Like, you see my watch? It's waterproof to under 200 meters. Who gives a fuck, you wanker? Like, it's also capable of being used as a compass. Like, but you'd love to just take it off and be like, how much does it weigh? Why does that matter? Just like beat him to death with it. Like, if I can beat you to death with your watch, I will accept its utility. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, say, how much did that cost you? 25 grand. You know, it's made by like some dude with a name. You know, apparently he's a designer of sorts. Just take it off him and beat him to a bloody pulp with it, and then just you're standing there holding his watch, and you're just like, do you know what? It's a good watch. I need to see a villain do that in a show or a movie or something. one of his underlings is like, and they say crime doesn't pay, like, do you know what I mean? Check out this watch I got off one of the corpses of a guy that, like, clearly had a wife and kids, and it's like, do you know what I mean? Because, you know, we went through his wallet after we shot him in the head. You know, cops are so stupid. You know, why bother having a family when some coke-riddled fiend like me is just gonna dome you with a 9mm on a Saturday night? Like, man, I have a dark sense of humor sometimes. But the best watch features were grappling hook and cutting laser. Yeah, we never got the really cool ones. Only fictional James Bond spy shit got the really cool ones. Like, do you know what I mean? We got stuck with the fucking, like, it's waterproof for a bit. Like, it's waterproof as far as you could go on your average free dive. Like, do you know what I mean? Oh, and it can tell you what, like, direction you're facing. Think about how stupid that is. If you live in a city, or just not even a city, just like a civilized area, it could just be like a built up town, like, do you know what I mean? Maybe there's like 1,000 people living there or some shit, like. But it's like, what possible situation? Maybe camping, maybe. But if you go camping, you probably, like, if you're that sort of like outdoorsy individual, you just get a fucking compass. Like, these are the things that really annoy me about life. When I like cast my eye of like logic on them, where I'm just like, why? What's the point? It's like when Xbox 360 came out with, like, when Microsoft came out with the Xbox 360. And a lot of people were like, it's overheating and I'm getting the red ring of death. Like, what the fuck? I've already bought 2 of these things. These things are shit. And Microsoft were like, okay, well, we'll sell you an attachment that you could put on the back of it that will assist the fan in keeping it cooler. Didn't work. A lot of shite. Only made it louder. Cost €30. Like, who the nobody bought those things, like, and if you did, you're a fucking bellend, like, do you know what I mean? But I'm a bellend too, because I ended up buying 4 Xbox 360s over the years. Well, technically, I only ever bought 1, I think. Oh god. Anyway, just don't put that watch on the wrong wrist, or your laser off your arm. Yeah, like, do you imagine? It's like, if James Bond was left-handed and all of his gadgets just end up like either like severely injuring him or putting him in danger or killing bystanders because he's left-handed and they've all been designed for a right-handed agent. Every time he does this, instead of lasering like a hole in a fucking pane of glass, he kills the gardener over his left shoulder. It's just like, Juan! Oh no! By God! Damn you, Q! Like, it goes to fucking use the grappling hook. And it like whips the fucking skirt of some bitch behind him, and it's just like, well, that's not what it was intended for, but I'm not arguing. Like, I mean, I could complain, but why bother? Like, oh my god, now I need to watch the old James Bonds again. It'll probably make me laugh like to the point of crying. Some of the shit. You remember the lad in wasn't the last Pierce Brosnan James Bond movie Die Another Day or something? Is that what it was called? I remember like being entertained by it at the time. I genuinely would, like, when I was younger and I watched it, I thought the guy who ended up with a load of diamonds in his face was really cool looking. I thought that was like a really cool way to like realistically make a bad guy look fucked up, you know? And I say realistically, obviously they would have just taken the diamonds out of his face. But like, wasn't there a scene where, oh no, he says leave them in or something, doesn't he? Maybe I'm wrong. I think I vaguely remember a part of that movie where like they're going to take the diamonds out of his face and he's like, no, leave them in. Because he's like bougie or something. I don't know, like, I'm beautiful now. Don't you dare take that away from me. Look at my Asian face glisten in the snowy mountain sun. Oh god, some of those things were so ridiculous. Like when you look back at Jaws, it's just like a guy with metal teeth who could he had metal teeth, he had metal dentures. It didn't explain why he had the bite force of a fucking gorilla, and he could like chew through steel and shit. Like, you know what I mean? That made no sense. Just because he had metal teeth, he also had the jaw strength of a fucking T-Rex. Like, they never explained that. Like, they never turned around and like James Bond shot him in the face, and like a lot of like flesh got taken off, and it revealed the fact that Jaws actually had a pneumatic, like hydraulic skull. Like, he got it to use the grapple, and it goes in his ear. That just like his wrist is now attached by a metal wire to his ear. Like that'd be so awkward to get off, depending on like, because if it like kept retracting, like, you know. Oh, that'd be such a good skate, man. Like if James Bond was left-handed. Because like, even not that it would make a huge difference, like it's not like you hear left-handed people complain about that shit, like, but maybe that's a conspiracy theory or some shit, like, but like they're secretly all suffering in hell. Like a waking nightmare that none of us right-handed people could possibly comprehend. But like that'd just be so funny. Even the walkie-talkie, you know, like the buttons like on the trigger finger side, or where the thumb would be, like, you know, left-handed person picks it up and it's like, I can't use my thumb, I have to use my index finger. This is so fucking, like, what would you call that? Leftist? Like, that's another skit in itself. It's like all the shit against, like, this is clearly leftist. It's like, what is society? And you just be like, well, yeah, like, yes, it is. That's why everything's gay. It's like, oh god. Before the stream, I stayed up way too late. I didn't go to sleep till like nearly 4 o'clock in the morning or something, like. So I was, before the stream, like, oh my god, I'm gonna be yawning, I'm gonna be so tired and all. But my delirium is making me hilarious. Sleep deprivation is great for jokes. I love seeing laughs in the chats. Ah, the feeble fate of a lefty. With Halle Berry, cool Bond flick. Oh man, Halle Berry back in the day. Jesus Christ. What was that movie? Swordfish with Hugh Jackman. There was a scene where like she's just got her tits out. Like, I remember being young and all, like, you know what I mean? It was just like, That's a cool movie. Swordfish is a cool movie. Was it John Travolta? It is John Travolta, isn't it? I think it is. I might be wrong. But it's Hugh Jackman and Halle Berry. Hugh Jackman's like a hacker or some shit. Like, good movie. Haven't seen that in years. There was like a few movies like that back in the day that were just like really cool and like entertaining, but at the same time they were very popcorny, you know. Do you remember like Enemy of the State? I remember that being good. Will Smith and, is it Gene Hackman? I can't remember. I seen a thing there like yesterday or this morning. I can't remember which it was, and I was looking at my phone. There's Gene Hackman's death is like suspicious or some shit. The fuck happened? You guys hear about that? The Chinaman who race swapped to a ginger. Oh my god. Yeah, like, how come like the only like known, like, the people that the only person to go viral with the whole race swapping shit was like some stupid white bitch pretending to be black? It would have been so funnier if you had like somebody like me going over to Japan and being like top, like, even I would be taller than your average Japanese dude, like, you know, definitely taller than most of the women, like, and it'd just be funny seeing me like bow and like wearing a kimono with my hair like this all the time. Like some of them would probably find it quite offensive, but like, you know, the shitty ones. Like if I saw a foreigner like dressed as a leprechaun, and trying to speak Irish and trying to have an Irish accent, it would make me laugh. Do you know what I mean? I'd be like, well, at least he's trying to be like what he thinks we are like, And some of it's true, so like, the world just sucks if you don't have a sense of humor. They called Jews rusty in his later years. Or they called Jaws rusty in his later years. I thought I saw that as Jews, not Jaws. And I thought it was like they called Jews rusty because a lot of Jews are ginger. That comment is amazing. It works both ways. If you're like me and you still have morning eyes and they're all blurry. J.W. Peppa was my favourite Bond-side character. J.W. Peppa? I don't remember that one. Which movie is that? Like, is that male or female? Who's it out of? Was there a movie or one of the bitches called Octopussy? Was it Moneypenny? Was there one called Strangelove? I can't remember. Or is that Dr. Strangelove? Doesn't someone who took the piss out of, like, was it Family Guy, or I can't remember who took, like, I'm sure loads of people have done that, where they took the piss out of the names of the female James Bond characters, whether like, Miss Fuck Me Now or Miss Miss Loves It Hard, like. Well, there was a British skit show that did it for definite. Now that I'm thinking of it, was it the Copper Eye, or what was it called, the Golden Eye? I can't remember. Miss Moans for More. I can't, like. Mona Loves It. That's one of, like, a parody, isn't it? Mona Loves It. Is that in Archer? I can't remember. Fucking hilarious. Naming a woman like that is, like, or having a female character like that is so fucking funny, like. Hackman got allegedly. Convenient timing with the false Epstein release. Yeah? No way. So Hackman's name was on the false Epstein one that was released or something, and somebody fucking killed him. Dude, imagine, like, you're a celebrity who had nothing to do with any of the dark shit, and then a fake Epstein file thing comes out, and some lunatic, the whole best intentions thing, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna go kill these crazy Hollywood pedophile, freaks, and you go and the person goes and kills one, and, like, they never did anything to any child, like, they're just, like, totally good human being who happens to be a famous Hollywood actor, like. And because of a false report, like, that's why, like, the last few years, the behavior of governments has been so insidious, where it's like saying stuff like this is misinformation and all this shit is so wild, like, do you know what I mean? Because, like, there's people like us who are like, oh my god, you lying scumbag bastards, like, But then you think about the stuff that Owen's talking about, where it's like, if you look at it from a eugenicist's point of view or a farmer's point of view, where it's like, how else do you think we're going to cull all the degenerate slop of humanity without incurring a severe karmic blowback in the metaphysical realm? Because, like, that just makes sense on so many levels, where it's like, well, we can't just kill them all because that's kind of dark. Even though, like, that's where your righteous fury comes from, is like, this is wrong, we need to stop these people, like, do you know what I mean? And then you debate it out and you're like, okay, well, how can we stop them? And then you realize what you're dealing with is, like, comparable to a monster, and then you're like, okay, well, we have no other option then but to kill them. But, like, the reason why people think that is because that works in, like, a village, because it's just one dude that nobody likes anyway, so nobody's gonna miss him, But when you have a whole population that you could argue that, like, nobody would miss, or the world would be a better place, the reality is somebody would miss them, typically. You know, even like a lot of garbage human beings still have somebody in their life. You know, like typically probably their mother or something, like that. When they die, they're like still sad. You know, so you're still gonna incur some kind of karmic blowback if you just fucking go genocidal or like full on fucking, you know, Deus Vult and kill a load of them, like. But it looks like so much fun. like, like from certain perspectives, like it looks like so much fun, you know. And then from the other perspectives, it's like such a horrifying. You know, like if you look at it from the perspective of like somebody who, you know, you could argue deserves to die, some kind of degenerate asshole who has no respect for his fellow man and no sense of honor, is like liar, cheater, stealer, murderer, you know, rapist, pedophile, all these things. Like you'd be like, yeah, kill that motherfucker. Like, but if you wipe out the whole town, you will be killed. Like, there's no town exists that's just dudes who are bad. You can't even go into a maximum security prison and go through every guy and be like, yeah, they all deserve to be there. There'll be one, or there'll be more than a few where if you sat down and like go through the situation, you'd be like, oh, you don't really belong here, do you? Like, do you know what I mean? Really, like, it's mad how the world works, like, and it's mad that how the world is mad because that's how we've made it, you know, because we don't live in God's realm. We live in the realm we've constructed for ourselves. If we lived in God's realm by God's rules, we would be more in touch with our environment and we would be more in touch with nature, and like your average person would know basic alchemy and geometry and physics and all this shit because it's written into our environments. You know, if you heat up the petal from this plant, if you soak the roots from this, you know, plant or whatever, like, you know, if you mix water with this stuff and then leave it to dry, like, you know, like all this information that's just passed down from just interacting from in your environment and shit. And yeah, I know, like, depending on how far you go back, it could be a case that like we were just like fumbling, like we could have just been like some kind of sapient like monkey thing that had like a very primitive existence, and then something else came along and it was like, if we mix that with a snake and give it a job, it might be useful. Like they say we have a lizard brain and all, like, do you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't be surprised if that's our true history, that we were genetically modified by another species as a form of like worker or some shit. Like, I don't know, a lot of that shit just feels so true to me, like, you know. Obviously it could be completely wrong, but like it's not like I'm gonna believe what I'm told by all of those fucking gobshites in places of authority and power. Like, there's so much to talk about, like, do you know what I mean? You can look at anything. I mean, you look at the fucking Bible and the Vatican, and like even like their own people, their faith is like, well, yeah, we took some stuff out of the Bible, you know. What did you take out? Like, do you know, you don't need to know that. Like, like, and like, sure, you could make a rational argument for that. It's like, well, there's a lot of fucked up like sacrificial like pagan shit in there that like is part of the history. So we just got rid of all that because like nobody even. If you tell people about that, you're gonna get freaks who are, like, want to do it. So we just got rid of it, you know. But that's not always the case. Like, you know, they'd use that as the excuse to get rid of some very interesting stuff that like would probably allude to them not being the authority. You know, it's all like that's always how it is. Is like they're maintaining the status quo. You know, oh, we can't tell them that. Why? Because then they won't believe us. Like, Octopussy was the movie. The femme fatale had a pet octopus. She had a pet octopus. If I could have a pet octopus, I probably would. That'd probably be fascinating to interact with in various ways. I'd be holding cards up in front of the thing. Like, red, blue, yellow. See what it does and all. Like, starts putting words in front of it and shit. Images. You know someone out there has shown porn to an octopus. That has happened. I'm telling you now. Like, that's... I'm telling you now, somebody somewhere has done that. With all the fucked up shit that scientists do, and then, like, excuse, fucking... Like, I mentioned that a while ago, fucking... remember seeing somewhere that they got beagles. That, like, beagles are adorable. They're an adorable breed of dog. They got beagles, and they, like, sedated them. But they were alive. They were kept alive, and they sedated them, and they were kept aware, as far as I remember. Maybe they gave them some kind of painkiller or something. I don't know, but it's still really fucked up. Regardless, but they put their heads, just their head, in like a box with some kind of insect or parasite or some shit that was like flesh eating, to see how long it would take to eat the dog's entire head alive. Like that's I don't like whatever about the stuff we do to each other. Like, do you know, like that makes it even worse. You know, this whole science bullshit of like we need to test this, and it's like, how could you ethically and morally test an experimental substance on another person, on another human being? Well, if they consent to it, I mean, like, for science, how is that not better than as a human who allegedly, according to most major, belief systems, we are, like, in a sense, we have dominion over the animals because we're more intelligent to them and all this shit, like, do you know what I mean? So to take advantage of that and experiment on rats, frogs, like sure, like we've got, like, you can make the argument of like, oh, but all the advances in science and stuff, like, yeah, but loads of the way we do stuff is like totally fucked up, and like there's more than one ways to skin a cat, so like if you're talking like actual science and actual intellect and actual like knowledge and wisdom and like awareness of your surroundings and like how to like efficiently and creatively fucking use the materials in your environment to not even make shit, but like it's always convenience and profit. It's never like, what does it do? Is what the thing does like actually adding to society in a positive way? Like one thing I'm always thinking about is that there's not enough. You see the way they have a lot of these playgrounds for kids where they have like monkey bars and stairs to run up and like rope bridges and all this shit. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I think they should have open air. I know they do in a lot of countries have open air like gyms essentially, and then like pull up bars and stuff like that. Like, but there's not enough of that. You don't see a lot of that in Ireland. You see some small attempts at it, but they're always trash. May as well be for kids or old people, But it's like you can just tell, like, by looking around where the money goes and why, It's always so fucked up. It's such a waste of energy and resources and stuff for the most part, like, It's ridiculous. Carry on. Bet it was a Japanese scientist who showed porn to an octopus. I wouldn't be surprised. How funny would it be if like you're a Japanese scientist and you show porn to an octopus and it like has a reaction or whatever, and you're like, okay, that's interesting. I wonder what that means. Like, how do we interpret these like stimulus and shit? Like, like, and then you show anime porn and it just doesn't respond, or like responds even more. Like, you know what I mean? Like, now that's interesting. like. I get, like, I don't mind, like, certain experiments, like, experiments that don't cause physical harm, obviously, or, like, mental trauma or some shit, like, would be fine, like, do you know what I mean? But, like, I think, it's way more ethical to figure out a way to experiment on each other and with each other than to, like, take advantage of the fact that it's like, well, through the, like, through the fact that I'm a human, I could just take this raccoon and experiment on it, and the raccoon has like no say in it. Like, do you know what I mean? But at least I'm not hurting a person. It's like, isn't that way more fucked up? Like, if you're going to be moral and ethical about it, it's like, if you have more awareness of your actions and the world around you and how it works and what's going on, like, if you could see the raccoon's behavior and watch the raccoon's behavior over a series of days or weeks or whatever, and then watch it about to walk into a bear trap, or watch it, you know, about to be eaten by something, you could like intervene and save the raccoon. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's like, that's the power you have, is like, you can plant a seed in dirt and a tree will grow there where there wasn't one before. Now, I know nature can do that itself, but it's like, that's the power we have in this realm, is like, we can manipulate it for good or for bad. Like, and to turn around and be like, for scientific purposes, I'm going to take this, like, for want of a better argument, like, or word, innocent creature, and introduce it to the fringes of our society, and like, you know, like, anything could happen. You know, all sorts of mad shit has happened. Like, can you imagine what it is to be like one of them cows or sheep that they've like grown in a fucking fake womb, and you're just like there in a field that's owned by some, you know, BlackRock company or some shit. Like, you know, you're surrounded by like white picket fences and all these drones flying overhead and shit, and like the grass is like weirdly fake and all, like, and you're just sitting there like chewing some kind of like protein mix. All of these freak cows around. I don't think somebody's gonna make a cartoon like that, like a Disney style like animation like that, where like the perspective of one of them cows in Russia that were getting like filled with all them steroids, like, like just this like little runt cow. Like, I could tell, like, man, I could make a fucking Pixar movie like that from them, based on that narrative. Like, you know, like, it'd be fucking hilarious. A lot of roided out Russian cows, animated. Oh, that'd be so funny. It's cartoon villain level evil to do horrifying experiments on a puppy of all things. Yeah, like, it's like, it's fucking diabolical. Like, it's fucking mad. Like, who sent me that thing that was like death by puppies? Who sent me that? Was it you, Stabru? I can't remember who sent me that. I think it was Stabru. It's like this cartoon clip thing where it's like, this dude's getting sentenced for like 13 murders or something, and the judge is like, you know, you've been sentenced to death for the, like, you know, for 13 murders, and he's like, but at this state we have the magical wheel of death that you can, like, you know, spin to see what way we kill you, and it lands on puppies. And he's like, oh, death by puppies, well, that can't be that bad. Like, and then it just cuts to him like strapped to a table, and this like adorable little puppy all the like, the way all the puppies are done in the cartoon are hilarious, because like they're the kind of, they've got big cute eyes, but they almost look like they're sad and crying, so that's kind of that extra level. It's like, oh, it's like extra cute, do you know what I mean? Bordering on kind of creepy, because they're so kind of like sad and cute, especially considering what they're actually doing while they look like that. Because, like, this really cute puppy comes out from behind the fucking table he's on and starts injecting him with, like, the lethal injection. And he's like, this is not what I thought it would be. And, like, camera pans over and there's two puppies, like, looking at each other and all, like, and they fucking flip the switch on, like, an electric chair thing and start frying his ass as well, like. And then they high-five each other. Man, I was in stitches laughing. Oh, it's so funny. Death by puppies, that can't be that bad. And it's like horrifying and weird and creepy, like. Oh, that's my favorite kind of comedy, like, you know, just like off the wall shit, like. Oh god, right. Oh Jesus, I've been rambling for nearly an hour. Fucking hell. Right, let's get this show on the road. It's Friday! Finish the week strong. And then rest. And relaxation on the weekend. Let's get these bitches wet. What have I got to do? We need bullets, cannon fire, rockets. And then I need to do a black line outline. A black line outline? A black outline on the anaconda, the train, and the barrels. I won't do a black outline on the buildings. I'll leave that. So still quite a bit of work to do in this. I don't know. 2 hours? I'll go for 3 hours. Did I get that done in 2 hours? I will if I shut the fuck up. Let's roll this pirate! But first, I place my royal rag on my demi-divine knee in preparation for the goo. Painting goo, goo, goo. Yeah, so unfortunately it appears that Raving Goo, that playlist, triggers copyright. And it has ads anyway, so like, might not use that one anymore. I just want to see what happens if I like, at least don't, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm thinking in gaming terms, and it's like, as long as I don't proc that debuff. Oh, as long as I don't incur that, like, response from their system, the algorithm or whatever. I'm interested to see what difference it makes. Because loads of my episodes are copyrighted because of the music I've played. But, there's loads of music you can play and that won't happen. So you just need to figure out which ones. And some of the shit's good, you know? As far as background music for a stream goes, it's brilliant. Definitely serves its purpose. It is kind of disappointing though when you have a playlist that you're like, oh yeah, this is nice. And then it's like, ugh, ads, copyright, fuck. I think I might get the female to make me more tea. Female! One more tea. It's really the honey. I think I'm addicted to honey. That's what you get for being a bear, weirdo. Fag. Being a bear is the best fucking thing that ever happened to me. In many ways. What's the face for? So? You can't go make a cup of tea. You're working from home. Piss off, you can't make a cup of tea. Like, you make cups of tea and work. And you're on the clock and work, like. Shut up, like. Oh my god, she's unreal sometimes. I'm working. Fuck off. Bitch gets to sit there and fucking work from home. And make good money. Should see our setup now. Fucking laptop here. It's all raised and shit. Just got it plugged into a monitor and shit and all. She's like clickety click, clickety click, doing emails and all. Like, bitch doesn't need me. Like, she just keeps me around because I'm gorgeous. That anaconda won't want none of Tom's guns on. Yeah, we got like what? At least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cannons. At least 3 missile, like, turret things. What are they called? Missile. They would call them turrets, wouldn't they? But there's like another word for them. I don't know. And then a minigun. You always, especially when taking on kaiju-sized creatures. Minigun. Telling you. Solves most problems. It's the first thing I'm gonna do. I'll fix his teeth. I'm gonna, like, I'll do all the stuff I need to do up here first and work my way down. So I'll fix his teeth. And then I'll do the black outline on him. And then he'll be done. And then we'll go from there. So all I need for the moment is white and black. All you need in life is some white and some black. Scouse Summer! Welcome to Paintingu. Right. I'll just use some more. Go. Sumimasen. Methinks the black is also too gel-like, not gooey enough. Right. Some good matter, Miraki. You alright, Boris? Right. Ooh. PEINTEINGU. PEINTEINGU. Goo goo goo. PEINTEINGU. Goo 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 goo. Some good shit. What? The text messages are still coming up on my phone. It's like Roshan just texted it. What? I'm just saying, like that means they're still synced in some way. What's wrong? You got a headache or are you trying to remember something? Yeah. PEINTEINGU. PEINTEINGU. You are doom scrolling? I love you all. I pray that you are all okay. Yay, kittens. Not a bad message, Emmanuel. Not a bad message. Are you drinking? Are you doom scrolling and drinking? Is that why you're telling everybody you love them? Oh. Paint, goo, 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 goo. Painting, goo, 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 goo. This is like video game boss music. I love it. I went back to sleep. So, good morning again. I still can't see yet. You can't see? Are you blind? Have you gone blind, Margie? How did you make morning coffee if you're blind? It's mad the way that one just changes up. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. My coffee sits on a warmer so it's good and strong in the mornings. Right here by my bed. Oh my god. I'm jealous. Well, I would be even more jealous if I got my first coffee, what I assume was a coffee craving today. I was on my walk, and all of a sudden I was like, I want a cup of coffee. And I was like, do I though? Or do I just like miss having coffee or some shit like? I don't feel this like need for a coffee, you know? I would like a coffee. When I think about a coffee, I'm like, coffee. But it's the taste. You know? More than anything, really, I suppose. Like, I mean, part of you does want that, like, that kick in the ass, like, do you know what I mean? Because, like, that's why I used to like drinking Monster. Is like, you crack a can of Monster and take like 4 or 5 like big gulps of it, like nearly half the can in one go, and then just like let out a big burp, and you'd just be like, oh, like fucking. It was like drinking like berserker fluid for me, like whatever's in it, like the ginseng and the vitamin C, or like, and then the really like the high caffeine content and the sugar and all that shit, like it's proper like whoa. Like, and you did, like, I got addicted to that feeling of like just this. It's like a lesson to, well, not that I've ever had. I have had an adrenaline rush before, like a proper adrenaline dump, and it's crazy. I felt like I could do anything, but it's similar. It's like a way more benign, but still quite intense, sudden rush of like, oh, I want to go for a run, like, do you know what I mean? Like, but I don't think we equate that with energy in quotes. But it's like, is it just a sensation or a mindset? You know, I think you can generate those feelings and states of mind that we desire from narcotics and certain, you know, plants, foods, whatever, drugs, whatever you want to call them, like these things that provide us with a stimulus, a notable change in like mental state or like, you know, physical feeling or stimulation or some shit like that. Like, I think you can produce those things with your mind, like, you know, most of them anyway. It's like if you think about something like with intent, not intent, but like if you really bring yourself back to like a really sad time in your life, like you will start to feel a bit like, all right, enough of that now, you know, fucking that happened 10 years ago, like, do you know what I mean? Like, you know, but if you just decide to be like, all right, I'm just gonna like go through the whole thing and like really like isn't that how actors do that shit? Is like they get them, like, you can convince yourself that it's like, this is real, you know? It's totally possible, like, you know, the placebo effect and all that shit, like, your ability, like, your willpower, if you can use it, and you haven't just, like, given it up to, like, all these other things, your willpower is insanely strong. Your life can be whatever the fuck you want it to be, within reason, you know? But you just actually have to will it into existence. Because the only person that's stopping you typically from doing anything is you know? Be like, oh, I want to do this. And then, right after you have that thought or say it out loud, all of these other thoughts come into your mind where it's like, yeah, but, you know, you just make up all these excuses, like. And that's the major difference between people, like, people that look at me or other people and be like, oh, I wish I could do what you do, like, do you know what I mean? It's like, you can, you just won't. Or, you can, but your personality or your perspective is, like, preventing you from doing it, like, you know? It's weird how it all works, like, I don't even believe in talent anymore. I just think certain people have more of a inclination towards certain things. Talent doesn't really exist to me. Like, I think you're made for like certain purposes, or you're made to be like better at some things than other things, like a fucking RPG character, you know. And if you're just aware of that and work with it, you know, that's what you're supposed to do. But like most of us are just like, you know, like, oh, in my free time I like doing this. It's like, in your free time, when you, the times when you're free. So when you're, what about the other times you're not free? Like, yeah, I'm in work, but it's like, but you're not, the way you word it, like, you know, in my free time, I mean, that's what a slave says. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the whole mentality behind it, like, it's ridiculous. Like, even the whole thing of like, I can't do that. I have a job or whatever. Like, you know, it's like, people think that, like, it's weird how people want things instantly, but then they also don't realize that other things take time, whether you like it or not. And like, it takes time for your life to like fall apart to the point where it's completely in disrepair. It's never in disrepair. You'd always, like, you know, bring it back. But like, it takes a while for you to completely fuck up your life. You know what I mean? Like, you get many chances. Like, every day you wake up is a chance to not fuck up your life. Like, I'm really beginning to think that empathy is a trap. Or maybe that's what the devil wants me to think. I had no coffee all week until yesterday, and I was shaking like a leaf all day. Today I have half strength. Yeah, like I actually thought about that earlier on when I had thought about the coffee. I was like, I wonder what would happen if I had a cup today. Would I be like, let's fucking go? Like, Paintingu goo goo. Paintingu goo goo. Thank you. Oh! Sumimasen! Sumimasen! Okay. Give that a quick fanning to make sure it's all dry so I don't smudge the schneck. And then I'll do the train. I'll do it up here and then over here, and then I'll do the barrels, and then the last thing I do will be outlining Tomas himself. That is everything, isn't it? Anaconda, chemicals, Thomas tank engine. Yep, that's everything. So once I outline it, I'll sign it. And that's another paintingu down. It's a good feeling when I finish a paintingu and I'm satisfied with it. I wasn't satisfied. What does it sound like when I'm like in Defenderu mode and then I switch to just me? It's like, does it sound weird? Does it sound like two people talking? But yeah, I didn't like the London one. I spilled tea all over myself. That's nice and warm. I didn't like the London one. Like, some parts of it were alright looking, like, do you know what I mean? The bricks were kind of like cute and funny looking. I suppose the octopus, the giant squid thing was okay. Your one he's holding is terrible looking though. It's on the bed over there. I haven't put it in the suitcase yet. Yeah, easily the best thing about the London one is the bricks and the squid. The bitch, the damsel in distress that he's holding, looks like shit. Oh, the wallet did turn out good in the way he's throwing all the cards and money out. So the squid, the wallet. Like, the bridge looks okay. I think it looks kind of shit. I've just had to get over that over the years. There's plenty of things that I'll do and I'm like, I don't really like it. Like, and it's just like, just get over it, you know? On to the next one. You're not going to be... it's like, I can imagine what being a musician is like. It's like, you're not gonna love all of your music, you know? Even if you did in the moment, or you enjoyed making that song, you might hear it later and be like, oh, I'm really not, like, because you'll move on and you'll get better and you'll change and shit and all, like, there's gonna be a time where I look back at these and I'm like, good God, what was I thinking? I doubt it. I highly doubt it. I like, anytime I've looked back already at like the first painting goos, I just laugh. I smile and I laugh a lot. I'm like, shit, I actually have like improved. Some of these are hilarious. Like, it's important to be honest with yourself, even when it sounds like you're patting yourself on the back. But it means you have to be honest with yourself when you're being a total retard and you're fucking up. You know, it works both ways. When you hit the bullseye, it's okay to be like, yeah, fucking crushed it. Like, that's okay. Obviously, you don't want to go on and on about it, about how great you are that you could hit the bullseye. You know, people are right to like not like people like that. Like, it's like, shut the fuck up. You know. But there's nothing wrong with like embracing the satisfaction of like accomplishing something. But you just also have to be honest with yourself when, like, you know, you're not doing your best or you fucked up or something, like, you know. I think I've gotten better at that when, like, people compliment me or I do a painting that turns out well or something, or a character design or some shit. I'm like, no, yeah, that's good. That's okay. And then when something's shit, I'm like, that's shit. You know? I haven't done anything yet, I think, where I'm like, that is kick-ass, and I did it. I don't think I've done that yet. Maybe the thing I sold to your man in France, that's that big orange, blue, green, like, flaming, symmetrical thing that I did. It was pretty badass looking. I was quite satisfied with it. Maybe that. Other than that, I don't think I've ever, like, not yet anyway, painted something or created something where I'm like, fuck me, I'm good. Like, you know? Maybe that's too far, you know? That Conor McGregor energy of having the two belts on you being like, whoo, that looks good. Like, should I be like, nah, I think that's where it stops, you know? You're allowed that. Because there's nothing wrong with being that good, like, you know? To be able to go up a weight class and like touch somebody up that cleanly, it's like you could do that across crafts and vocations, where it's like you paint something in somebody's house or you paint something in a hotel lobby or something on a big feature wall, and you stand back and you're like, fuck me, I nailed that, you know? But like, that's where it stops. It's just about acknowledging reality and being honest, you know? Do you think you did a good job? Yeah, I think I did a great job. Well, good, you know? That's why I definitely agree with Owen with the whole, like, people who, like, have this, like, oh, I'm so humble, you know, have humility and all this shit, which is, like, yeah, to a degree, you know? Be polite, be courteous, be ethical, be moral, be fucking, what's the word? Chivalrous. All these things, but don't be like soft and don't attempt to appease people. Do you know what I mean? It's a trap you can easily fall into on a stream like this, where, like, you know, people paying you money and stuff like that, and asking you to do things and all, like, you know. Like, I completely get where Owen's coming from, where it's like, some people are like, hey, I've given you loads of money and I've laughed at your jokes, like, but now I'm asking you to do this, like, outlandish thing and so on and so forth. It's like, fuck off, I don't know you. Like, yeah, thanks for the support, but, like, you only supported me because I did something for you, you know? I entertained you, so you gave me money. It's like, that's it. Like, don't be like, fucking, will you read my 15-page letter? Like, and if you don't, I'll be mad at you. Oh man. Some people are just fucking crazy, like. Crap. 2 phone-ins today. These young people need to get their shit together. Phone in 1 day every week. Makes my afternoon real fun. Oh. Never work with gamer bros unless they show up for work and clean their friggin' rooms. I've seen a lot. I've been that guy in certain jobs. If I like work, I'll work hard. If work is like just demoralizing and a horrible environment to be in, I'll only last so long before I'll be like, fuck this, you know. Which I think that's how you're supposed to be. Like, do you know what I mean? You should be like resilient and strong and tolerate things to a point, but then you get to a point where it's like, no, this is, you know, your spiritual and mental and physical well-being is far more valuable and important than, you know, the potential for money or whatever like that. Like, do you know what I mean? And if you're the kind of person who is like, you're struggling with life and you're like married, kids, and you've been in the same job for 12 years, it's like, well, that's where you put yourself, you know. You prioritized things, or you didn't, and you just like had belief systems or something, you know. It's like, because that's why people are like, you know, I've got bills and I've got kids and all. It's like, that's your problem. Do you know what I mean? That's that's what it is. It's your responsibility. It's your problem. Like, bitching and moaning to anyone, whether it be the government or a friend or any, like, I've got kids to feed. Like, of course you've got kids to feed. You created children. You can't, like, anyone who's like, I've got kids to feed is like, that's such a shit attitude. Like, that's pathetic. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, you've only got kids to feed because you put your dick in someone and left, like, and, you know, and you did the deed. You created the child. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's like, of course you have to feed the child. You created it. Like, let's see, was it you, Desmondu, who sent me that fucking oh, I can't even remember it now. Like, I'll have to like look it up on my phone. It was like Black Dads or something, and it was like some kind of meme where it was like, I'm out of here. Like, where's the thing? I love that one with Spider-Man looking like he's deep in thought. I honestly have no idea what a vitamin is. It's in a banana, but it's also the sun. Sure. I love shit like that. Like, all vitamin is vital mineral, isn't it? Isn't that where vitamin comes from? Is a vital mineral. Where's that fucking? Where is it? The amount of things you sent me today. I was on me walk and my phone was just like, I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, like that social experiment in Russia one was hilarious. Where some dude just like walks into the middle of a big open, it's like one of them big pedestrianized areas that's outside like a real old building, you know, like a fucking, what would you call them, like the type of area that at certain times of the year there would be a big marketplace in, but other than that it's just empty space with really nice looking buildings and statues and stuff. And he just puts down a boombox or a stereo thing, and it's like, you know, playing a load of like hard bass, you know, like boom 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 boom, like, and he's just giving it socks, like, you know, doing the whole Cossack shit, like, you know, hard bass, Chechenian hard bass dance and shit, like, and a load of people just start joining in, like, and I was like, that's basically Irish people. Irish people are like that, like, where like you could just start playing a decent tune and then everybody would be like, you know, And we also make, what did I say? It's like, the Russians make vodka out of potatoes. Like, that's basically what we do. It's basically poutine, you know? All poutine is fucking Irish moonshine. Oh yeah, when you're black and your girlfriend just told you she's pregnant, and it's fucking General Grievous in Star Wars. Fucking like, was it like? Does he say time to abandon ship or something? Yeah, time to abandon ship. It like leaves in the escape pod. Oh man. Oh, did I do the phrase of the day yesterday? Cause I think I have one where it's like, never walk your noodle barefoot. Which makes sense. It's like you don't want to like do a stir fry barefoot. Like you might get some, you know, hot shit on your feet. Like, you know. Might get a bit of splashback, get some hot oil on your bare feet, like. But that sounds hilarious. Like, today's phrase of the day: never walk your noodle barefoot. That's the type of shit that like I want phrase of the day to be, you know. It's not really wordplay; it just sounds funny. Because it kind of sounds like never whack your noodle, or like, you know, because there's a slight inclination of like, it kind of sounds like I'm talking about my dick, you know, like never walk your noodle barefoot. Splashback big no. Oh. Oh, that's some good tea. I love it. It looks so great, full of color. Oh, the painting? Oh, you like the old painting or the new painting? I can't remember. Domo Margie. Which means thank you, in case you don't know. I'm not gonna assume everybody knows what Japanese shit means. We're not all weebs like you. You ginger cunt. The bridge looked great. Yeah, it probably looked great from, like, because it's, like, small on your screen, like, do you know what I mean? But it's, like, it's fairly, like, vague and muddy. Up close. I'm probably just being critical. The perspective, I got the perspective nice, you know. They're like far enough away from each other and shit like that. Like, I did get the perspective alright, like. But as far as the like the details on the two main structures on the bridge, they're like, yeah, I'm not a big fan. The jellyfish report is ready. The jellyfish report? What does that mean? Oh, excuse me. Oh, my burps are always worse on an empty stomach. You know? I've noticed that. Like, if I haven't eaten yet, which I haven't, and then I'm doing the stream and I'm talking a lot and I'm like drinking and stuff, that seems to be when I'm at my most gaseous. Gaseous sounds like I'm like talking about gashes, like a wound, like a gash, like a vagina. That's, out of all the names for a vagina, that's the most disgusting one in my opinion. Not cunt. Females find the word cunt so offensive and disgusting. I think gash is way worse. Way fucking worse. It's nasty. It's gash. Like, it's like, cunt kind of has that like gravitas to it, like punt, you know, and stunt. like gash. Like, it's like it's on the same level as moist, like, do you know what I mean? Like, calling in sick because you had a late night raiding in WoW is pretty damn weak in my... Like, did they actually say that's the reason they called in... Oh. Yeah, like, that'd get you to sack. Like, from my experience, like, if you can do that in the workplace now and still hold down a job, that is insane. Like, there's times where, like, I literally went out drinking with my manager. And, like, I knew I had to be in the next day because I knew he was going to be in the next day. And the two of us would go the whole... Well, not the two of us. Like, all of us who went out drinking would be, like, the whole day, like, dying with a hangover. Going into the jacks every couple of minutes because you thought you were going to throw up. Pounding water. Sweating. And the smell of us all, like the smell of alcohol coming off us and all, like, and we were at work working from like what, 8:30 till like fucking 4 o'clock in the day or some shit, like, after being out till like easily 3-4 in the morning fucking drinking, like, mental. This painting here is so full of colour. Yeah, I'm liking this. I like the contrast between the yellow barrels and the pink goo and the dark red snake with a bright green tongue. And like the background is very muted. The background's not very colourful, you know? It's very like muted, which makes the two of them stand out, like the train, the blue on the train and all. Like, I think the best part about this is Thomas's face. I think Thomas's face really brings it together, you know. It's just like funny, you know. Like, that's crazy though. The fact that that dude could call in sick, and his excuse, like, did he give a different excuse to the like official manager? And then like told you in a WhatsApp group or some shit that it's like, oh no, yeah, I'm not actually sick, I'm just like exhausted because I was up all night playing WoW. Like, that's insane. If he actually turned around to like his employer or a manager and was like, yeah, I was playing a video game too late last night, so I can't come in today. If I like, that would either be like, you know, like a strike, you know, 3 strikes and you're out sort of thing. But like, that's crazy. That's fucking wild. Like, that's the like, that is an insane privileged existence to legitimately be like, oh yeah, I'm not coming in because I'm a gamer. And I wouldn't be surprised if some people have tried that. It's like, well, my identity as a gamer prevents me from, you know, laboring like you people because my feeble spine cannot handle it. Like, part of me has actually thought about like doing videos about like, are you a gamer? Is your back fucked? Try the new like, and it's not new, it's thousands of years old, but it's like, you know, it'd be hilarious to be like, take 5 minutes to not be a total fucking degenerate and do horse stance and feel your ass muscles again. Like, too many people are like Asmongold, you know? And like, don't get me wrong, like I've like treaded those waters, you know? Fucking teeth falling out of my head, fucking holes in all the walls of my room. Like, you know, I had no window and no door for like easily over a year at one point. Like, you know, you're fucked up when you throw half of your bedroom door through your bedroom window. Like, you know you're dealing with some trauma. Like, it means nothing. These random phrases are clanging around in me noggin. Are the every time I do a phrase of the day, Emmanuel's gonna be like, no, not another one. I can't get them out of my head. Like, like, phrase of the day. Never walk your noodle barefoot. Very dangerous. And Emmanuel's just like, nonsense. Just slaps a load of fucking sunflower oil in a pot, brings it to like cooking temperature, and just chucks a melon in it, like, and it's just like standing there in his boxer shorts in front of it, like, come on, I dare you to burn me. You would legit have to be brave to have a lot of oil cooking, like hot oil in a pot in a kitchen, and be standing there in your boxers and just chuck a melon in it and just stand there and like take the splashback. Like, that's a really good way to get yourself to A&E in a heartbeat. Like, your fucking 3rd degree burns all over your chest and thighs and feet and face, maybe, depending on the... Oh man, I used to think that was like so fucked up when you'd see like movies based in the medieval times where they would throw hot oil on the invaders, and like, sure, it's like, well, they're trying to get into the castle and kill us, so fuck them. Yeah, I agree. But as far as like something to do to another human being, that's pretty messed up, like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's a reason the Geneva Convention exists. We have done such horrific shit to each other over the years that a few of us have gotten together and being like, lads, no flamethrowers. Like, seriously, that's just like, no. And no gas that, like, if you breathe, if you get like one lungful of it, it like melts you on the spot. Right? Like, enough. Like, you wanna do war? Fine, do war. But can we please at least not have biblical hell on earth in chemical form? Just please. Like, and like, how do you enforce something like that? How does the Geneva Convention work? Is it just a suggestion? like, do you know what I mean? You can't do that. That's a war crime. Who's going to enforce? You know, like, you only get done for a war crime if like the conquering nation is the one dealing with you. It's not like some lad in Sudan, some warlord in Sudan can, like, you know, flay the flesh off a load of fucking villagers and then pour lemon juice and salt all over them and just leave them out in the sun to rot. Like, what's the UN or like America gonna fucking do about that? Like, do you know what I mean? Oh yeah, we're gonna send in, you know, a covert operator. Just one dude with a backpack and sunglasses. And he'll deal with them. If you're gonna do it, that's how I'd do it. I'd just pay some, like, ex-military dude with loads of experience in killing people from a distance. Or really up close. And I'd just be like, this is his face, this is his location, payment upon completion of objective. Good luck, soldier. You know, like, those are the fuckers that, like, you want to, like, not fuck with at all. The guys that, like, governments come to be like, we need you to handle this. And you're just, like, sent in, you're just Halo dropped in on your own. You know, because, like, that makes sense. It's like, because if you get a load of dudes together, and then it has to be official, and then you have to like run the risk of like, you know, doing a black op or some shit, and then it's like, oh, now you're like, you know, a traitor to your nation because you went against, you know, the CIA and the FBI and the official like dictates of the government and the military, and you know, you went behind enemy lines against the wishes of the United States or whatever. Like, if you're gonna do some shit like that, to be like, this fucker needs to be dealt with, and we just need to do it and not say anything about it. Like, that's what they say about gangsters. It's like real gangsters never say anything. You know, real gangsters aren't like, you know, I got my 9 and my grill and my fucking, like, I shoot niggas. Like, do you know what I mean? No, you don't. You don't shoot niggas. The niggas who shoot niggas, and they don't rap about it. So, like, the people who do some really high-level ninja shit, like swimming up to a submarine and putting a fucking explosive device on it and then swimming away in the dead of night at fucking minus 20 degrees Celsius. You never hear about these people, and that makes sense. Like, and that's where like the conspiracy theorists kind of have an issue, like, do you know what I mean? Because all these people are like, oh yeah, where's your evidence? It's like, I'd hate to say trust me bro, but it's not trust me bro, it's like, use your brain, use your common sense, use your fucking logic to be like, if you were them, what would you have to do? What obstacles would you face? You've got public blowback, you've got fucking sedition from, like, you got like that, you know, like, you can't let the press find out about anything because they'll either twist it or they'll, like, you know, put it all over the fucking news. So if you're the people in power, you have to be like, okay, send in the Russian, you know? Like, how fucking funny would it be? And it probably has happened if you had, like, American, or definitely, like, even funnier if it was European, but, like, we'll say American government forces like FBI or CIA or whatever like that, like, employing the services of a former Russian, like, KGB, like, mercenary, some dude called, like, Vlad, like, do you know what I mean, like, as Russian as they come, and, like, they're paying this nigga to, like, go into the Congo or something. Like, do you know what I mean? There's no such thing as, like, sides. Do you know what I mean? Like, there isn't, like, it's like, oh, like, we're the blah blah blah, and this is our flag, and, like, our main enemy is, like, the dudes, and that's their flag, you know? There's always going to be spies. There's always going to be turncoats. There's always going to be deserters. There's always, like, and it's the same even if it's not, like, a military group. Like, it's the same with, like, the bear community. Like, any community that's, like, online or whatever. There's traitors. There's fire starters. Like, do you know what I mean? There's, like, there are people out there who literally just want to see shit kick off and sit back and watch it happen. You know? That's fucked. Like, you know, it is jarring when, like, it's like a later, it's like a grown-up version of realizing Santa Claus isn't real. It's like, you realize that, like, the darkest shit you could possibly think of doesn't compare to the darkest shit that's actually happened, that, like, we pretty much know happens all the time, but you're never gonna see it, like, written down or in a news thing or anything like that, because that's not how the world works. Like, some seriously fucking dark shit out there, like. And it is kind of messed up how, like, quite often the stuff that's most exciting to learn about is the dark stuff. You know? Because it's almost more real. Quite often you hear about, like, some really heroic shit. You know, oh, this guy did this, and he saved these people, and he did it all on his own while wounded behind enemy lines, like, do you know what I mean? Or whatever it is. Like, this guy single-handedly built an orphanage with no funding. Like, whatever it is. You'll be like, I don't know, something's, like, if it's too good to be true, like, it kind of smells off or some shit like that. But if you hear something, like, mind-blowingly horrific, there's a part of you that's like, well, yeah, I could totally see some bunch of scumbags getting together and doing some shit like that, you know? That's fucked up, isn't it? Like, but it makes sense, because it's like, it's based in nature, it's based in reality. You see a pride of lions, just chilling. And you're like, wow, look at those majestic creatures. And then next minute they like tear apart a cute little antelope. You know, like things like screaming in pain and all, like they're eating its asshole. It's still alive, like. Although, like, technically, a lot of the kills that you see lions do, they especially big cats, they suffocate their opponent, or they break its neck, or they attack in such a way that the thing dies like almost instantaneously. Similar to eagles. Eagles, like, typically when they like hit something, that's what makes it like easier and more viable to like carry away and fly away with it, is the fact that like when they hit it, they kill it, you know. I mean it makes perfect sense. I mean, if you're a rabbit and like an eagle, like, could you imagine 8 kitchen knives entering your body from multiple different angles? Like, do you know what I mean? Could you imagine how many like vital organs and like, you know, catastrophic wounds are inflicted on a rabbit when an eagle just like fucking, like, the impact of that and all, like, do you know what I mean? Like the speed those things are going, and they just go like whoom. Ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous, like. What's worse, like, gash or axe wound? And Margie's just like, axe. I don't know. I think gash is way worse, but it could be just a cultural thing. Gee, yeah, gee's kind of funny though. And like, if you say, it kind of sounds like someone with a strong accent saying gay. Are you gay, are ya? My cousin Michael's a gay. Is he only gay in the village? Not in a union, you can get away with murder. That's fucking wild. That is wild, like. Jesus Christ. It's stuff like that I don't give a fuck when people turn around to people like me and are like, oh, why don't you get a real job or whatever. I'm like, fuck off. The amount of people out there who are getting paid to do fucking nothing. Do you know what I mean? They should be ashamed of themselves, like. Fucking disgusting. They even have done like a hard day's labour in their fucking life, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I've done plenty of days hard work, you know. I've been exhausted at the end of the day, like my feet have been sore, my shoulders are killing me, like there's been plenty of times where I got home and like all I could muster the energy to do was sit there and play Tekken, you know, like eat dinner, sit there and play Tekken, because you're just like, your whole body's just like and then I look at the time and I'd be like, oh, I have to be in work in like 7 hours. Better go to sleep. Like, mad shit, like. People are such scumbags, man, like. Oh, I can't come into work today. I was up late last night playing WoW. Sacked. Immediately, like. My iPad is sitting right down in front of my TV so I can see both pictures at the same time. So I took a picture of them because the one on my iPad is more red. The one on my TV is more purple. I think I might have to adjust the colour on my TV. Marty's like, colour on this is off. That's hilarious. Just looking at my stream on different things, just being like, one of these is wrong. Like, that wasn't his excuse, but I know that's why he isn't at work. Just lazy as all get out. Poor posture, overweight. All he does is game outside of work. Most young guys here are in the same boat. Fucking hell, like. Man, the fucking troglodyte, troll, goblin fucks that give gaming a bad name, like, do you know what I mean? That's why I'm so glad that somebody like Voxday exists. Voxday is an absolute legend of a man, and he's a former game designer. You know, that's my take on video games. It's the same take on anything really, like a gun or like, is it bad, is it good? No, it's just, it is what it is, and it depends on you. Video games are fucking awesome. This for the same fucking reasons that guns are awesome and swords are awesome and paint is awesome. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, same reason that books are awesome. Made a short video yesterday while I was trying to saw a stand for a TV so the Roku would fit in it. I've got to finish it today. Look at you, Margie. Those physical ailments aren't stopping you from being productive. Go on, Margie. Bear meet up at my place on Sat. All are welcome. Transport is your problem, though. Hey, well, if you can make it to Canada. Hey, nigga, what? Hey. Oh, yeah. Yeah, money and lack of passport is my problem for sure. You know, you don't have a passport? That's hilarious. I suppose my passport was out of date for fucking ages. Those are some green black rinds. Almost there. I don't have a passport. None of us have passports. Excellent. Whoa. Bears are booking so he can go to the Orserio meetup in May. That's awesome. It's been a while since we had a bear meetup. There's a small one going on this weekend, but I can't make it. Only female have shit to do. Female and I have shit to do. She's doing some overtime at work to catch up on her hours. I've got my work I need to catch up on. Just don't have the time to be driving down to Dublin for, you know, a chat. As much as I'd love to, but I've already spent the first 2 months of 2025 recovering from the last month of 2024. Okay. Now we just need to put the bullets in. So we're definitely going to need yarrow. Start off with the white, place them, make sure the coverage of the yellow is nice. We also need to make sure that we get the shit on target, so we're going like this. Muzzle flash, muzzle flash, muzzle flash. Painting. Goo 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 goo.
Runs a travel company.
I have no interest in what you are trying to serve me, demon. Right, the matter has ended. Shall we reeve off on some... Where's that really cool one I really like? There it is. Crickety crick. Drag. Where's the fucking... There we go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Well, no, I don't know if this triggers copyright. I wouldn't be surprised if it did. My tummy is a rumbling. My feeble motor side is a hungry. Pathetic. Painting goo, goo, goo. That's one rocket, or missile, whatever you want to call it. If I have a passport, the government has it because I was getting ready to go to the Azores because that's where my husband was stationed in the Air Force. But I had a baby and I did not want to have to put her through getting all those shots that we had to get. Yeah, good woman. Good fucking woman. Vaccines. I don't know. I don't see the genuinely medicinal effect of injecting certain liquids. Like you have to penetrate your flesh and get it into the bloodstream and all. Like it's poison. I don't think there's a single vaccine out there that truly does anything positive.
Enjoy our Spanish wine event this week at Super Value.
I will enjoy wine in my own time, at my own leisure, and it will have nothing to do with you. Poison merchant. Some good shit. Will probably trigger the copyright thing, which is unfortunate. Or is it? Does it even matter? I don't know. Right. I believe that is that. Let's sign this bitch. Paintingu, paintingu. Oh God! small part of me kinda wants to fix Thomas's teeth. Right, we're not done just yet. We're not done just yet. A Vaxo is nothing more than a venomous fangu of the serpent of our serpenters. Indeed. Paintingu, goo, 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 goo.
exists. To some, it's a religion. To others, it's the practice of evil in the devil's name. This is not a Halloween fable. This is a real-life horror story.
Alright, that's better. Now we are finished. Looking excellent! Your skills grow with each goo, and you are one step closer to Chinese heaven. You hear that, Monkey King? It won't be wrong now. Furry fuck. Will rue the day he had me kicked from Chinese heaven. It was my favorite fucking PEINTEINGU spot. You had any idea how beautiful the Chinese mountains look when you're on a divine crowd riding above them? Incomparable! Don't get me wrong, Valhalla, beautiful, lots of fun, meat frying everywhere, people constantly fighting, beautiful women, huge thighs. I could go on and on about all the different heavens, but Chinese heaven is just so beautiful. Cherry blossoms. The most beautiful Asian women you've ever seen with the most pitch black, beautiful long hair. I miss it.
Cafe frothy coffees.
I miss Chinese heaven, but I do not miss coffee. Fuck you, coffee. How dare you tempt me? Right, my beloved Japanites, we shall sign the PEINTEINGU. We shall be done with it. D. B. D. So, my beloved Japanita, yet another gloriously wrong and gloriously excellent, beautiful, good, true, and beautiful episode of PEINTEINGU. I hope you are satisfied. I hope you have enjoyed a full week of PEINTEINGU. Methinks it was the first full week of PEINTEINGU since the holidays. So, here's to another full week of PEINTEINGU next week. God willing, I shall see you all Monday. for a fresh Paintingu. God only knows what the magic hat shall provide. So, look forward to seeing Andoran train chemicals. Or Andoran chemical train, whatever the fuck I called this one. I shall take many pictures. It shall be up on Instagram. Probably later this evening. Sometime. Or perhaps tomorrow morning. If you do not see it tonight or this evening, you will see it tomorrow. Probably. Right. You know the drill. If you have any honor, you will pay for Paintingu. And if you cannot pay for Paintingu, Riker, sharer, and subscriber to Paintingu. Remember to smash that like button like it has insulted your ancestors. I shall return Monday, God willing. Same timer, same pricer, same high-octane Paintingu energy. In the meantime, enjoy your weekend, and be good, be true, and be beautiful. And I shall see you soon! Sayonara, my Japonaita! And all you other filthy mortar scum! Until next time.